I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. ...2023 Lexus RX.
500h without launch control.
Oh, felt some boost there.
Just listening to that sound.
Okay, we got pumped in audio. Doesn't sound the best, not the fastest. Let's get to the horsepower and torque.
A combined 366 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque from a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder hybrid.
Okay, that was in sport mode, so let me go through my infotainment, put it back to normal mode, turn traction back. Oh, it just
You looked away for too long.
away.
Yeah.
And floor it. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Sounds good too.
Yeah, that pumped in audio is not intrusive or anything. Okay, bunch of stuff I want to talk about. There's things I hate about this car, things I love about this car. I want to start with the thing I love the most, the looks / the color. Look at this
paint.
This copper color is unreal.
It is. It really is unreal. Like,
pops so hard.
I couldn't believe it when I first laid eyes on it.
This
It looks like they melted copper onto the car.
This is my favorite colored car of the year. Favorite paint of the year, I think.
It's incredible. Great job, Lexus.
Hey, do you like the new front end where it looks like the car has too much forehead, like a hammerhead shark or some weird looking shark?
I do like it. I don't love it, but I think it does look good.
Yeah, it's cool styling. It's appropriate. I do like previous Lexus RX looks more.
Yeah, this kind of chilled out a little bit.
But the body line's still super awesome, pops super hard with this paint. Everything looks nice. The headlights are cool. The taillights are still cool. You like the wheels?
Yo, stop snapping at me. It's really annoying.
Do you like the wheels? How I think. Do you like the wheels?
What?
Do you like the wheels?
I like the wheels, except I don't like that they're matte.
I think you have to go matte to like combat how crazy this paint is.
Yeah.
Like if they were glossy, then you'd be like, well, they're not as glossy as the bright copper. So like,
I feel like it would match pretty nicely.
I think if it was damped, white wheels would look sicker. And since it's almost spring, now would be a good time to find your Continental recommended tire. Visit the link below to see what's best for your car.
Tire changeover season.
This is the chill tire changeover season where you can like just milk it for a little too long sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And then people in Florida are like, what are you talking about? Drag tire season.
So no exhaust tips because, you know, hybrid-y.
Yep.
This is not plug-in hybrid, but they're coming out with a plug-in hybrid in like a year it should be out.
Yeah, the 450h like the NX as well.
Do you like the fake grills at the back or whatever? Like, who cares really, right?
It's who cares at this point.
Yeah.
At this point with cars, man.
Yeah, and then it's got like the Direct 4 all-wheel drive badge, which is interesting.
Yeah, so it's all-wheel drive, but it's like an E all-wheel drive on the rear axle.
Yeah, rear generator power axle or whatever.
Yeah, because it's a hybrid.
Yeah. But I kind of just hate how every company makes their all-wheel drive systems with a 4 and an 8.
I mean, there's GR4, watch our Corolla video coming.
They blend everything together to confuse you, but it's fine.
Yeah. I mean,
guess.
4 makes perfect sense. You got 4 tires, blah, blah, blah.
And we still got the disconnected style looking roof, which is cool.
Yep. Yo, stop looking away for half a second, Yuri.
Okay, that is the Lexus Safety System 3.0, which I'll talk about in a second too. So overall, looks-wise, we don't like it as much as the previous RX. We like the paint more than any other paint in the world. Do you like it more than, say, TLX?
I mean, it's not better than Molten Orange Tricoat Metallic, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Overall, I think it looks really good. I think they did a good job.
Yeah, it's a great looking vehicle.
Oh, and then there's another thing about looks. For Wakanda Forever, the movie, this was like, Lexus always sponsors Wakanda movies.
What is Wakanda?
From Marvel. And then they had a wrapped version that we were supposed to drive, but for some reason we weren't able to drive it. So now that we have this, they wanted to give us these Adidas Wakanda t-shirts.
Adidas.
To wear in the video. So for all the t-shirt hype beasts, we're gonna rip these open and see what they are. And no matter what the size, we're gonna wear them. So Jacob might be in a small
Please
shirt.
be an extra small. Is this worth a lot of money, Yuri?
Not anymore.
Let's swap. Bro, I don't
Lexus.
understand this, but what is the dime nipple? Who sponsored this or whatever? This is Marvel?
Well, Lexus pays Marvel to be in Wakanda movies.
Yo, send me some of that money because we're currently getting no money for this.
We can't take money from manufacturers.
No, I know. This is from Wakanda or whatever.
We don't do that here.
Marvel? Yeah.
Marvel's not going to send you money. They don't need your money.
Well, I'm taking the shirt off then.
Do it. Let's see those nips. So now to the things I hate about this car.
Okay.
The infotainment.
It is bad, you're right.
Okay, here is what I hate. It's the new Lexus style that's a touch screen, no more trackpad. But I think the older style with the trackpad, like the very end of RX, was trackpad and a touchscreen, and it was perfect. My big problem is when you're in Apple CarPlay, this menu on the left disappears. So say you're in Maps, then you need to click the home button, then you need to swipe maybe, then click the Lexus button, and then you can click the car button, and then you can go to your drive modes if you wanted to change your drive modes or something like that.
So all they would have to do to fix the majority of the problems you just described is leave the icons on the left like some manufacturers already do, like JLR.
Yes, like the Maserati Grecale Trofeo that I drove, that was the perfect car. The Maserati has a better infotainment than a Lexus. Think about that. Okay, the next thing that I don't like. So you go to your radio stations or Sirius XM, no tuning knob, we got a volume knob. So to tune, like you can't even get a full list of stations. You need to just like find the category or like type it in, or you can use Hey Lexus to find it if you already know what it is. So I hate that part. And the next thing I hate is the buttons on the steering wheel. Jacob, how long did it take you to figure out how to set your speed and cruise control?
Probably 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so the way it works, these steering wheel buttons are blank. When you have your head-up display on, it shows everything that's an option when you put your fingers over it.
Yeah, so I was looking in the gauge cluster, which is where I thought I should look, and then turns out I had to look up to see what the buttons were doing.
And then the bottom buttons on each side changes what it does. So you have two versions for everything. And it's just very tricky, very confusing. And that's how you also change what displays in your gauge cluster as well. It's just an overall awful system, but I found a better way to use it, and that's by disabling your head-up display that you paid for, so it all shows up in your gauge cluster, and then at least it's like somewhat easy to use.
I agree with that. The implementation of it is definitely not good.
Yeah, it sucks. It straight up sucks, and I hate it. The next thing that I don't like, we have only wireless CarPlay. Well, what do you know? You actually do get wired CarPlay. Good job, Lexus. And then you put your phone on the wireless charging tray, and then all of a sudden I'm getting like fax machine printer sounds from this area, which is like, what the heck?
I've never heard these sounds outside of a fax machine.
Yeah, so that's super weird.
But what I do like about this infotainment, because you're on a bit of a rant here, is that we do actually have physical buttons to control the temperature.
Yeah, those knobs are nice, and it shows in the middle.
And the fact that we actually do have our climate, which is unfortunately touch, but it is always on screen, and the buttons are actually really big and easy to use.
Yeah, that part is good. And then I preheated this car by clicking the lock button 3 times on my key fob. There's also an app, and I assume it's all tied to something where after 10 years, if you stop paying, you cannot remote start your car from the key fob.
Probably a safe assumption based on the other vehicles from Toyota that we've driven.
And then another thing I don't like, combined with something I do like, the 360 camera. Okay, it's nice. It's the one where when you drive forward, it shows what's underneath you and all that stuff. But when you're in park, it shows the stupid egg modes. And like, nobody needs egg mode. I just want to get into my parking spot, put it in park, then I'll push the hard button camera, which is nice to have. And I just want to see that I'm in the lines. I don't need like a fancy show of an egg.
The regular 360 camera
Yeah,
is good.
so it's like, then you have to put it into drive to check and then put it back into park. And then I'm sure someone will do that and then forget that they're in drive and like try to get out, but then the car will probably lock itself automatically.
And speaking of putting it into drive, we got this Prius-like shifter because this is a hybrid and this is the way they're going with everything now.
Don't mind it, I'm used to it.
It's okay.
And then to end off the stuff that I want to talk about with the radar cruise, lane keep, and the safety stuff. So Lexus Safety System 3.0, we have so much more stuff. We've got like front cross traffic alert. It's got a thing that watches your eyes, so it beeps at you so much more than a previous Lexus.
Even when you're not in adaptive cruise, which is why it's beeping at you throughout this video.
Yeah, so if I look down.
Maybe you have to look farther away.
Anyways, it beeps a lot most of the time, but you can turn a lot of that stuff off by going to your vehicle button and then your settings. Unless, of course, you're in Apple CarPlay on Google Maps, then you need to click the home button, swipe over, click the Lexus button, then click the car button, then go to your safety settings and then turn it off.
Yes.
Or you can just click this button and most of the stuff shows up right here. But radar cruise, lane keep, lane centering, it's got lane tracing now.
Okay.
And it works really well, really keeps you centered, but you got to keep your hand on it. But it does have traffic jam assist under 40 kilometers an hour.
Convenient.
But it's only active if you have the subscription to the car, with the maps or whatever, and it's 4G dependent. And what happened when Lexus was 3G dependent?
I don't know.
All the 3G features are gone now because the USA discontinued 3G. Remember that?
So when 4G is going to be gone and everything's 5G, we can assume that this may be gone.
Yeah, it probably won't last the full 10-year subscription.
I don't think any cars last 10 years with any features these days.
So that sucks. And then the traffic jam assist worked really well, but then it's like, boom, traffic jam assist is available, and then you go over 40, which happens all the time in traffic jams on the highway, and then it's like, get your hands back on the wheel. And then it's like, we're gonna take a picture of you when you're done.
What?
I'm like, what? Yeah, I don't know where the picture goes, but it asks. I said yes, because hopefully it shows up somewhere. I'm so confused.
Whoa.
Anyways, a little too much beeping. If you really want good traffic jam assist, I would highly recommend just going with a used BMW, like that old X5 we drove from 3 years ago.
Yeah, those were great.
That was perfection compared to this. And then this has lane change assist. Did not assist me with any lane changing at all.
It probably just beeps if another car is there.
It's probably just like a blind
assist.
spot monitoring or something.
Okay.
They just called it something fancy.
Yeah.
Where a Mercedes will actually move you from lane to lane.
Yeah. And Genesis and stuff now.
Yeah, pretty much everything. And I'm going to end it with one thing I really like. This sound system is amazing. Love, love, love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
It is really good.
Okay, your turn to drive.
Yay!
Yay! Sport mode, traction off, manual mode, brake boost.
Accelerator, brake pedals. It still lets me though. Ooh. Okay, it's not real manual.
No. But in sport mode, you do get a cool tack.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so first of all, I noticed tire slip off the line because this is front biased, heavily front biased. It did launch pretty decently after the first second. It wasn't as bad as BMW with the X1 when I drove that.
Yeah,
that was considerably bad. Yeah, so
except for that Mini Cooper.
I'm gonna try it right now. Just let's see what it does in drive and floor it. See, it was a better delay, but there was still a delay to the throttle pedal.
This is one step above dad fast.
Yeah, this is pretty decent. So let's see what it does through Cliche Corner, and I'm gonna downshift with my paddles. And yeah, there's lots of body roll. This is the F-Sport Performance 3 package, which gets you adaptive suspension. And all I've really noticed is a lot of body roll and very comfortable suspension and understeer. Yeah, not quite the most handling of SUVs, but I wouldn't really expect it to be. But it is really comfortable even in the sportiest mode, which I would expect from Lexus.
Yeah, I like the body roll. I feel good about it.
I don't really like that. But again, I don't expect it to be handly.
The last time I checked, this isn't a RXF.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, steering was pretty dead. Again, that's exactly what I expect, and I actually want from this because I don't care about that. I just want it to be nice and light and comfortable, which it is. The paddles are pretty nice. They're not metal, so they're not going to get cold, but they're like all other Lexus
They're also
paddles.
useless, so you won't touch them.
Exactly. It does not matter. Just leave this in drive all the time. The powertrain is pretty decent. I'm going to floor it while we're driving. It's very torquey. I do like that. It does feel torqueier and nicer than the previous V6, which you can no longer get. The RX 350 with the 3.5 liter V6 is gone forever probably.
Why does it still say traction off on your gauge cluster?
That's because I turned off traction, and if I hold this button to get rid of it, which it says delete message, it'll just reappear, and then I can't see whatever I had on my gauge cluster. Yes, just like an LC500. And this does not have a CVT, surprisingly, because it has a 6-speed auto. It does feel kind of ancient, but it also, I don't mind it at all. It's nice.
And there is an RX that comes with the 10-speed, and then there's an RX that comes with the CVT.
Yeah, there's so many. Every powertrain option is so different now in this new generation. So yeah, you have many different options, all of them somewhat being fuel efficient. Yuri, how was your fuel efficiency when you had this car for the week?
I couldn't figure out how to set it per trip. So it just kind of showed the whole thing since, I guess, you looked away, since the start of this car driving, and it was 11 liters per 100 kilometers. But I think the rated is 8.6 liters per 100 kilometers.
Yes, or 27 miles per gallon combined.
So I pretty much, user error, difficulty, couldn't figure out how to reset my fuel economy just for one trip.
Yeah, so I just reset it right now, but I also wiped out all of the previous stats, so we have that now.
Yeah, and it didn't show me what my trip, I don't know, I just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
Bad infotainment.
So yeah, the infotainment, while you were on your rant there, I didn't want to stop you. I actually don't mind it. I don't like it. It's not the best, but if you live in Apple CarPlay, you can totally get away with that as long as all your music and everything is in there, until you have to change your drive mode.
But who really needs to change a drive mode in a car like this?
Exactly. So just like if you start this car, connect to Apple CarPlay wirelessly, and just live in there, it's actually not bad at all. But if you want to play with the settings and do everything that Yuri said,
the infotainment they built is not bad if you never use it.
You need to start. No, you need to start thinking about infotainments like vessels for Apple CarPlay. That's all they are.
I know.
That's all they are.
I don't like that.
Yeah. So other than that, like I said, you can actually control all the climate stuff, so that's okay.
And the heated seats and heated steering wheel automatically turned on, which was really nice.
Yeah, because you can set them to auto, and then they'll connect to what the car thinks it should be. So if we have it on low, it'll just blast cold air up your butt.
And the steering wheel got hot as heck.
It did get really hot. And driving this around, the seats are actually very well bolstered, pretty comfortable, a little bit firm, but still very comfortable.
Very firm.
However, there's a lack of lumbar support for up-down only forward and back.
Yeah, considering how much this costs, disappointed.
And older people are probably going to buy this with back problems like us.
Yeah, we're old.
Yes.
We are senior citizens now.
Pretty much. And getting in and out is actually really easy because of the height of this vehicle, and getting in and out, I'm trying to protect these floors. So in order to get maximum coverage, I would highly recommend a set of TuxMat. Go to TuxMat.com/TheStraightPipes to see what they have available for your vehicle.
Do it. They're great. You got to protect your floors.
Yes, I actually have them in my E55 AMG wagon. They laser scanned my personal vehicles, so I actually love them.
Okay, and then another thing. So spring is coming. You're going to be pulling out your floor mats. You're going to be checking everything to see if it's dry. Let us know in the comments below if your carpets are soaked from not having TuxMat.
Or just crusted with salt.
Because back in the day, dude, the amount of cars I probably destroyed by just like, TuxMat not being around back then and me not having them.
Yeah. No, carpets get real crusty, and then you got to like blast them with heat and everything. I've done that, and I hate it. Like that salt eraser stuff, nightmare.
The amount of water that was in the Gears and Gasoline.
Oh yeah, the Camaro.
Dude! What the hell? This car is soaked.
And then backseat room is okay. My hair actually touches the roof, which I really did not expect in this SUV.
And at 5'8", I fit perfectly.
Yeah, and then back there, not that much trunk space. Like, it's good, but the load floor is very high.
Probably because the E-axle, single motor, whatever back there.
I would imagine, yeah.
But then we got like independent rear suspension back, or multi-link rear suspension back there.
Yeah, and rear steering.
Yeah, so I think we noticed it a little bit 4 degrees on U-turns, but not like one of those crazy cars. Like,
yeah, it's not intrusive to the point that you actually like really notice it, which is good.
I just noticed that all my U-turns had no issues.
Yeah, it's not like an S-Class or Maybach where you're like, wait a second, what just happened?
Okay, we also got kick to open back there, which is very convenient, and the lock and or close button at the back too.
That is lovely to have.
Hey, what's this button do?
That is, oh God.
It's park assist.
Okay, well.
Okay, and then do you remember how Lexus park assist works?
Oh yeah, that's right.
You have to just roll up to the spot and then click the button to park. It's not like you turn it on and then drive by a spot and let it think, but I used it and it did work really well. Does this do anything?
Oh yeah, it's a camera.
Heck yeah.
It's actually not the best resolution. Oh no, it's pretty decent. Okay. And then cup holders are good because we also have the push button.
Oh yeah. You can drop it down.
Yeah, that's cool.
Boom.
So that's a pass.
How about visors?
These suede-like visors.
3, 2, 1.
Yes! Good job, Lexus.
They do some things well.
They do. So I think that's it with the RX 500. I like it. You don't like it?
Yeah, before we get to the price, let us know in the comments below if any of my complaints are valid because, I'm sure everyone's different.
Oh, they're valid, just how much they affect you.
Yeah, because there may be other things that affect you, like the Lexus RX being the most stolen car in Ontario.
That is also a thing as well. So if your car got stolen, maybe you should go to tsp.truecar.com, buy yourself another one.
Or a non-Lexus. I did ask Lexus Canada and they said they follow all regulations of Canada stuff, so yeah, no real response from them.
They're trying. It's pretty bad with Ram and stuff too, with all the Hellcats and all the Dodges and whatnot getting stolen. It's not just Lexus, but yes, Lexus
it's like Lexus and Ram and CRVs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, let's get to the price.
It starts at $79,800
Canadian,
and this one is loaded to the gills at $86,250.
Hey, it's a lot of money.
It is.
And
that is quite a bit of money now.
There's a long waiting list for these.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
And they are the most stolen vehicles in Ontario, the RX.
Yep.
They're not necessarily a 23s, but in general, that model.
Yep.
Yeah, so would you get one?
I mean, it's a very desirable car in Ghana.
I think I couldn't find that Instagram page anymore.
It's gone now, yeah.
Yeah.
For those not in on the joke, we found an Instagram page called Cars of Ghana, and it was just, we assume Ontario stolen vehicles because they still had the plates attached and the plate frames from local dealerships around here.
I think what it is cars get stolen in Toronto and the Greater Toronto area, and then they get sent to Montreal and then shipped in shipping containers to Italy and Greece, and then spread out across Africa.
Yes. Let us know if your car was stolen in the comments below. But
Let
anyways.
us know if you have a Lexus in the Greater Toronto area in Ontario, or a Toyota, or a Ram, or anything that gets stolen a lot, and what insurance told you to do.
Yeah, and if your insurance has gone up, or if it's higher by buying this vehicle or a Ram or whatever.
And the reason we're not mentioning Kias and Kia Boy stuff is because in Canada, regulations say you need to have the immobilizer. So that's why we don't have Kia Boy stuff going on in Ontario.
Yeah, they're a lot harder to steal. No USB port stuff here.
But I do like the looks of this and the color.
Yeah, it's great.
But I would spend my money on an Acura over this. But realistically, neither, because they're not my favorite.
Yeah, I would probably get a previous gen RX 350 with the V6.
Yes, that would be great for a house with a locked garage.
Yes. All right, see you guys next video. You're and I are back together, so we're not broken up. You're just feeling better.
But we're still gonna have the thumbnail with the faces. One face.
Whose face is in this one?
You never know. Probably mine in this one and yours in the Corolla.
Probably.